So imagine you're trying to rebuild an entire nation, to bring it back from the brink, and the main encouragement you get is this really cryptic vision. That's exactly what we're jumping into today with Zechariah chapter 4. It's a vision so powerful, so full of symbolism, that people have been talking about it for centuries. It's all about where real strength comes from, and believe me, we are gonna unpack it.
I mean, on the surface, it seems kind of random, right? You've got a prophet trying to fire up the governor Zerubbabel to finish building the second temple in Jerusalem. And to do that, an angel shows him this incredibly intricate golden lampstand that's somehow being fueled by two olive trees. That's the central mystery we're diving into, and we're going to take it piece by piece.
So this whole thing kicks off in verse 1, and right away you know this isn't just some regular dream. An angel actually has to come and wake the prophet Zechariah up, shake him out of his sleep. It's like the vision he's about to see is so important, it needs his full, wide-awake attention.
And the vision itself, which he describes in verse 2, is just stunning in its detail. Zechariah sees this solid gold lampstand, a menorah, but it's got a special design. There's a big bowl right on top, and it's feeding 7 different lamps through 7 separate pipes. And get this, on either side of the whole setup are 2 olive trees, and they seem to be the living source of fuel. It's like a perfect, self-powering system of light. Amazing.
And you know what? Zechariah is just as stumped as we are. He turns to the angel and just asks, "What are these, my lord?" That's our big clue, right there. It tells us that every single part of this vision, every little detail is absolutely packed with meaning, and it all needs to be decoded. Okay, so here's the first part of the angel's answer. And what's so interesting is that before he explains a single symbol, the angel just cuts right to the chase. He gives the bottom line first. This whole vision has one core message, and it's aimed at one specific guy, Zerubbabel, the governor who's facing this monumental task of rebuilding the temple. And here it is. This is the absolute heart of the chapter. The whole point of the vision is to hammer home this one single truth. Rebuilding the temple, this huge, complicated construction and political project, it's not going to happen because of military strength or because of human smarts. Nope, it's only going to succeed through the Spirit of God. Period. Then the angel uses another incredible image. He throws out this rhetorical question, almost like a challenge. Who are you, O great mountain? It's aimed at any and every obstacle that looks like it's just too big to overcome. So what is this great mountain? Well, as biblical commentaries tell us, it wasn't a real mountain. It was a symbol for all the massive things standing in their way. We're talking about the overwhelming power of the Persian Empire, the nasty political opposition from enemies like the Samaritans who were actively trying to stop the work, and even that deeper spiritual battle against God's plan. And that leads right into the promise. You see that giant, intimidating mountain of opposition? God says it's going to be completely flattened into a plain. Every single obstacle is going to be wiped away, clearing the path so his work can finally be finished. Now that the obstacles are being dealt with, the message gets even more personal and encouraging. God makes a direct promise to Zerubbabel himself. The very same hands that laid the foundation stone of this project are going to be the ones that put the final capstone in place. He will see it through. And here's a line that speaks to anyone who's ever felt like what they were doing was just too small to count. You have to remember that people were feeling pretty down. Their new temple felt like nothing compared to the glorious one that was destroyed. But God tells them, hey, do not look down on these humble beginnings, because he sees it, he values it, and he's rejoicing over the work getting started. Verses 9 and 10 give us these 3 powerful guarantees that this temple will be completed. First, as we said, Zerubbabel's own hands are going to finish it. Second, he's seen holding a plummet. That's a builder's tool for making sure everything is perfectly straight. It's a symbol that the job won't just be done, it'll be done right. And finally, you have the 7 eyes of the Lord. Now, this isn't about being watched in a creepy way. It's a symbol of God's perfect knowledge and watchful care over the entire world, making sure his plan comes to pass. All right, so now that we've got the main message, not by might nor by power, we can finally circle back and figure out the vision's central image, that golden lampstand. What's it all about? You see, the menorah was always a huge deal in the tabernacle and the temple. It was this powerful symbol of Israel's special calling, their mission to be a light to all the other nations. So this lampstand in the vision was a powerful reminder to the people, right then and there, of their true purpose as a nation, a purpose fueled by the Spirit of God.
And what's so fascinating is to see how this imagery gets picked up again centuries later in the book of Revelation. In Zechariah, you have one single lampstand, representing the unified nation of Israel. But in Revelation, the Apostle John sees 7 separate lampstands, and they represent 7 individual churches. The symbol is adapted to show that true unity now comes from Christ himself, walking among his people, not from a single physical institution. It's really cool to see that connection. And that brings us to the final, and maybe most important piece of this whole puzzle. Zechariah brings his focus back to the most dynamic part of the vision, those 2 olive trees, the living, breathing source that's constantly supplying the oil for the light. So he pushes the angel again. He's not just being nosy. Zechariah gets that these 2 figures are the key to making the whole system work. They are the living connection, the source of the fuel that keeps the light burning. So he has to know, who are they? And finally, in verse 14, we get the big reveal. The angel doesn't give their names, not at first. He gives their title and their job description. They are the 2 anointed ones, literally the sons of oil, and they are the instruments of God's power here on earth. So who are they? They are Joshua, the high priest, and Zerubbabel, the governor. Together, they represent the 2 God-given branches of leadership for Israel. You've got the spiritual and priestly leadership, and you've got the civil and kingly leadership. They are the human channels that God's Spirit, the oil, flows through to empower the nation, the lampstand, so that it can be a light to the entire world. And so that's what we're left with, this powerful idea. The message from Zechariah 4 is that God's Spirit can level any great mountain. And it kind of forces us to ask ourselves, doesn't it? What challenges in our own lives look like these massive, impossible mountains, but are maybe, just maybe, only plains that are waiting for us to see them from a totally new perspective, one that isn't based on our own might or power, but on a completely different kind of strength?